We must also consider what exactly mass is. If we examine the famous E=mc² equation, we understand from this that as particles travel at relativistic speeds, their mass will increase. While Thornhill pointed out that this is simply an interpretation of the observations from particle accelerators. Here they accelerate protons and electrons in an electric field and notice that they become less responsive to this field. If, as Walsh suggests, these particles are made up of smaller subparticles, which also orbit around a central charge, then as the particles accelerate, their orbits will become more and more elliptical. As more and more force is applied, this is used in the distortion of this orbit rather than in the acceleration of the particle itself. So in the case of a muon, might this still simply be an electron, but in a different excited state, meaning it does not respond to the electric field in the same way as an electron? Did the initial collision cause one of the internal electrons inside the nucleus to be liberated in this excited state? This state is unstable and this energy is eventually released, and all that remains is the electron. Again, we must come back to the concept that there is something fundamentally wrong with particle physics. This is the tip of the iceberg, and the fact that they see a discrepancy from their theoretical models with their observations may indeed open up the avenue for them to explore an alternative to this particle zoo that they have created. Although I wouldn't be surprised if they simply invent another member of this zoo to fix the problem. That being said, there is still much work to do in finding a working alternative to all the phenomena we see. SAM is an excellent step in the right direction, but understandably their efforts are focused on the known atoms and explaining all the phenomena before they then tackle the more exotic phenomena we see. They have already shown that in radioactive decay, there is no need for the neutrino, and a positron can be explained as an electron moving into the nucleus of the atom. When you strip away what is actually observed in these experiments, there is room for a totally different interpretation of the data, which may suggest a much simpler, more logical way in which Mother Nature works, and would remove Feynman's classical quote where he said, "The theory of quantum electrodynamics describes nature as absurd from the point of view of common sense." And it fully agrees with the experiment. So I hope you can accept nature as she is, absurd. Instead, we should view Mother Nature in a logical, hierarchical fashion where everything has a purpose, where less is more, and in this case the removal of the strong nuclear force once more points to the electrical nature of Mother Nature.